Leviticus 9. The priests offer sacrifices. On the 8th day Moses sent for Aaron, his sons, and the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, "Bring a bull calf for your sin offering. Bring a ram for your burnt offering. They must not have any flaws. Offer them to the Lord. Then speak to the people of Israel. Tell them, bring a male goat for a sin offering. Bring a calf and a lamb for a burnt offering. Both of them must be a year old. They must not have any flaws. Bring an ox and a ram for a friendship offering. Sacrifice all of them to the Lord. Also bring a grain offering. Mix it with olive oil. Today the Lord will appear to you." The people got the things Moses commanded them to get. They took them to the front of the tent of meeting. The whole community came up close to the tent. They stood there in front of the Lord. Then Moses said, "You have done what the Lord has commanded, so the glory of the Lord will appear to you." Moses said to Aaron, "Come to the altar. Sacrifice your sin offering and your burnt offering. Pay for your sin and the sin of the people. Sacrifice the people's offering. Pay for their sin. Do just as the Lord has commanded." So Aaron came to the altar. He killed the calf as a sin offering for himself. His sons brought its blood to him. He dipped his finger into the blood. He put some on the horns that stick out from the upper four corners of the altar. He poured out the rest at the bottom of the altar. He burned the fat and the kidneys on the altar. He also burned the covering of the liver. All of those parts were from the sin offering. Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He burned up the meat and the hide outside the camp. Then he killed the animal for the burnt offering. His sons handed him its blood. He sprinkled it against every side of the altar. They handed him the burnt offering piece by piece. It included the animal's head. Aaron burned up everything on the altar. He washed the inside parts and the legs. He burned them on top of the burnt offerings on the altar. Then Aaron brought the people's offering. He took the goat for their sin offering and killed it. He offered it for the sin offering. He did it just as he had done with his own sin offering. He brought the animal for the burnt offering. He offered it in the way the law requires. He also brought the grain offering. He took a handful of it and burned it on the altar. It was in addition to that morning's burnt offering. Aaron killed the ox and the ram as a friendship offering for the people. His sons handed him the blood. He sprinkled it against every side of the altar. His sons also brought the fat parts of the ox and the ram. They included the fat tail and the layer of fat. They also included the kidneys and the covering for the liver. Aaron's sons placed everything on the breast of the animal. Aaron burned the fat on the altar. He lifted up the breasts and the right thigh and waved them in front of the Lord as a wave offering. He did it just as Moses commanded him. Then Aaron lifted up his hands toward the people. He gave them a blessing. He had already sacrificed the sin offering, the burnt offering, the friendship offering, so he had stepped down from the altar. Moses and Aaron went into the tent of meeting. When they came out, they gave the people a blessing. The glory of the Lord appeared to all of the people. The Lord sent fire on the altar. It burned up the burnt offering and the fat parts that were on it. All of the people saw it. Then they shouted for joy. They fell with their faces to the ground.